Our products were very simple, and we stood behind them. So when there was a problem, if something went wrong, we call it customer care today, but it's always been a part of TYCROP. That if you own a piece of our equipment, that if it's not right, we'll make it right. And we made that very clear early on. And in the eyes of the marketplace, that made us a brand that everyone trusted.
I think the company and the people that worked here were very proud of what they did. From a marketing perspective, is to make sure the rest of the world knew how proud we were and knew how great these things, these products, these machines actually were, and how much better they were than the competition.
TYCROP was definitely a leader in the industry. It really set the benchmark, made everyone come up to our level. Again, not only in the quality of the products, but in the quality of the service.
You know, I felt that as I learned our competitive products, I definitely knew we had the better products, so it made it much easier to go out there and show why we were hands down the better product to sell.
It wasn't called a material handler to the marketplace, it was the TYCROP. It wasn't the TYCROP MH400 or the MH400 or the material handler. It was, hey, Jimmy, go get the TYCROP. As competitors came onto the marketplace, there was even a timeline when a golf course might own a competitive product and they'd still say, hey, Jimmy, go grab the TYCROP, even though it was a Turfco or a Dakota. And then you realized we were doing stuff right.
In our discussions and in my learning about what turf was all about and how they worked, it became clear to me that the customer came first. You're out front became the rallying point for turf. It had become not just our internal cultural mentality, but it had to be told to the world. The entire market needed to understand where TYCROP came from and what their goal was, and that goal was 100% satisfaction by the customer.
Like, it was kind of neat to hear. Like, one of our big things we heard was the settle, right? It was like, ooh.
My name's Kenneth, Ken, and I settled for uneven top dressing.
And then Bubba kind of showed up, and that was kind of like, well, where's Bubba? Oh, he's from so-and-so, and well, there's actually somebody out there he's comparing our stuff to the other guy, right? Dakota or whatever, Turfco, and that was almost like more of a realization of, holy, I think our stuff actually is getting kind of seen a little bit more out there.
The attraction for us was the quality, was the brand, was the name, and the reputation.
I knew quickly that they were the leader in the industry.
The secret to selling it is believing in the product and the company, and also what it can do for the customer.
It's a wonderful feeling to demonstrate and promote a product, and then when you actually sell one and deliver it, it stays in the field. It's a quality product with very few service issues. It's a very versatile product, very durable.
I've not had any customer that purchased the TYCROP that wasn't 100% satisfied. Once they understand what it does, the more they learn about the machines that they have, the happier they become with them.
By selling a product and having it in the field operating flawlessly every day is very good for not only our confidence but our customers' confidence.
I think TYCROP leads the industry as far as its application and durability. It's hit leaps and bounds above the competition.
I bought a Turfco in '98, and then we had a Dakota here, and then we had this one. This one's hands down, it's the best one.
That looks excellent right there.
I don't see how it could get any better.
We were clearly the number one. As of 2008, there was independent studies that proved that TYCROP was number one.
If you were to walk onto any golf course in the world, any major golf course in the world, and say, have you ever heard of TYCROP? Of course they've heard of TYCROP.
There's over 6,000 customers around the world that use TYCROP products in over 42 countries. I mean, just say that and it sends a shiver down your spine.
They all have heard of TYCROP. They know of TYCROP. They appreciate TYCROP products. They know exactly who we are. We are a major player globally in the industry.
We really tried to project that professional image and sometimes almost looked bigger than we really were at times. And some of our competitors maybe came from more of an agricultural, farmy type background that, it just didn't look as clean and as polished as the image that we always wanted to portray. And I think in the end, that image, showed in what's kind of happened with the company now.
The company builds a great product, but the company hires great people to build great products, and that's the legacy that we have. That's why everyone's impressed. That's why Toro bought TYCROP Turf.
Really, they did have choices, and their choices were to go with one of our two other competitors, or to build their own products. But ultimately, they looked and they saw the products that we built and the innovations, the passion that we had for the business, the values of our company, of how we believed in taking care of customers, and how we partnered with the resellers for success. And of course, the fit and finish and the design of our products, they felt were best and best fitted and suited for their company. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't believe they had a choice. I think we were the only choice.
I don't know how anyone could even imagine the effect that we truly had unless you had the luxury of being able to get out and travel around the world and go to those golf courses and listen to those superintendents or listen to those soccer players. I don't think people knew that most of the PGA events were prepared with our equipment. The British Open was prepared with our equipment, and that these organizations wanted our equipment to be the only equipment preparing it because it did it best.
When you see your company's products there in those places, you have to be awed by it. I think we've done a terrible job as a company sharing that inside.
We probably didn't do the job of telling the story. We were so busy living in the moment, actually doing it, doing the work, kind of, for lack of a better term, actually shoveling the crap, that we didn't really take the time to sit back and say, do you realize that that's what we're doing?
I just looked at it as we were doing what we did. We were being the best at it, and why did we need to celebrate that? But truthfully, now that the business is gone, you look back and you go, we missed some opportunities to celebrate. We should have. Those, we did things that companies in Chilliwack and anywhere just don't do. And, I certainly know we'll feel differently about it the next time. I've often been given a lot of credit for being the vision and the passion behind our turf business, but truthfully, it's the workforce that's the driving force behind any company, and it's the people that work there.
So there was a real group of productive people all through the plant, whether it was arranging financing or figuring out how to make a product go through the assembly line, or how to cut or burn or bend or paint the part in a more effective way, ultimately to the benefit of the customers.
When you look around at the turf division and what was those assets that were actually sold to Toro, I have to say that it was a far more valuable division today than it ever was. And that's because of the people that were involved in it every single day.
I think that the guys in the shop should be proud of what they've done, because in the end it was the product that shone, and it's got to work and do what guys are wanting to do, and that's the track record of all of our distributors who are selling product over and over and over again every year, that the reputation almost sells the product itself now.
As long as we always strive to do a better job, then we would always be head and shoulders above our competitors, and I think everyone should be proud of that.
But at the very end, you have a sense of pride of, our stuff must be pretty good if they want to come and purchase our product. The realization of how good it was at the very end.
We do know that if we take what we collectively have learned for the last 30 years and employ it well, that the next division of TYCROP will be very successful as well.
I think a lot of companies get so absorbed in what they need to do that they forget who they're doing it for. And if you remember who you're doing it for, what you need to do and how you need to do it takes care of itself.
The rest is just equipment and systems and bits and pieces that you can buy and somewhat off the shelf. But what the people learn and the kind of the inherent knowledge and the experience that they got, that's the part that you can't just go buy. And we have it.
If we can't take all of those things today that we know now and utilize them to grow our business, then I would be very disappointed. So we've got the people, we've got the understanding, we understand business, we've got manufacturing capabilities. Yeah, we can do anything we want. The world really is our oyster. We just got to pick the right thing, because it's not about are there any options and what are the opportunities. There's limitless opportunities. We just want to pick the right one so that we can all really have great careers here at TYCROP and enjoy what we do and stand behind it, because 20 years have come and gone, but the next 20 will go just as fast.